rehabilitated, and real entertaining. This is the Carl Jackson Podcast.
Today, we're going to be talking about the 6 reasons why I believe that Colin Kaepernick is the Meghan Markle of the sports world. Welcome, and you are listening to the Carl Jackson Show podcast. We are your daily dose of objective truth in a world of confusion and lies. Guys, what I want to do right away is go to some video of Colin Kaepernick in an interview, or at least part of it, in an interview that he had on CBS News. Gabe, let's go ahead and roll the tape, por favor.
He's also a new father who's spreading a message of empowerment in his new graphic novel, Change the Game, written with author and University of Chicago professor Eve L. Ewing.
I love how you depict yourself in this book, not as some big shot hero, but as a shy, insecure high schooler like we all were. I mean, I'm speaking for you, but.
Absolutely. Growing up, I think still am a pretty introverted person. I hope it's true to form, and that's just kind of how I navigate the world.
It's his true high school coming-of-age story, his journey embracing his blackness, despite resistance from many, including his white adoptive parents.
I know my parents love me, but there were still very problematic things that I went through. I think it was important to show that, no, this can happen in your own home, and how we move forward collectively while addressing the racism that is being perpetuated.
He took cues from his icon, basketball star Allen Iverson, who he said wore his blackness like a suit of armor. And teenage Kaepernick wanted cornrows to match. He's getting what roles, his mom asked?
Oh, your hair's not professional. Oh, you look like a little thug.
Your mom said that to you.
Yeah. And those become spaces where it's like, okay, how do I navigate this situation now? But it also is informed why I have my hair long today.
The grown-up version of Eve wanted to go back in time and give young Colin a lot of hugs. And I was really moved and saddened by the level of kind of self-awareness that he had to develop at a very young age without a lot of guidance.
The former NFL quarterback who once led the 49ers.
Okay, we can stop it there. Okay, so 2 things that I wasn't going to comment on that I do want to comment on. I want you to notice the 2 ladies that are sitting there allowing this guy to act like he's a victim. Notice how they buy into this nonsense. The interviewer looks biracial herself. Colin Kaepernick is biracial. So I do want to talk about that. So again, before we get started here, I do want to take just a moment for a special messaging break, and then we'll be right back with my point. Okay. All right. So here we go. 6 reasons Colin Kaepernick is the Meghan Markle. 6 reasons Colin Kaepernick is the Meghan Markle of this sports world. And I know that you guys know Meghan Markle. You guys know who Meghan Markle is. Back in the day, Meghan Markle is now married to Prince Harry or what have you. And back in the day, she said that she had a podcast or something, wrote columns. I can't remember what it was exactly, but she talked about the royal family. And later on, once she was married or whatever, she said, or once she was engaged, she said she didn't really know anything about them, just a complete and utter liar. And now she's this perpetual victim. She's used her victimhood in order to make buttloads of money, both she and Prince Harry. She moved, obviously, and lived in the castle with the royals in Europe. Didn't get along with a lot of people, started a lot of mess, came back to the United States, is still starting mess, and just trying to capitalize off of victimhood. She's a complete narcissist. She's a fake and a fraud. So is Colin Kaepernick. As what you don't see in this, or what we didn't play in this video, is the extended version where the guy there's so many questions that this interviewer asked, and he's like, that's coming out in the docudrama. That's coming out in the docudrama later. Or you can read that in the book. I mean, everything seems like a promotion with this guy. I want to share this information. This is how successful this guy, Colin Kaepernick, has become since he's been cut from the NFL. We all know the story behind Colin Kaepernick. He started kneeling I think he was just kneeling at the side, and I think he's an opportunist. He was kneeling on the sideline, if you will. He wasn't a great quarterback. At one point in time, he was good for the San Francisco 49ers. He got him to the Super Bowl, but he ran a lot. He had a very strong arm, but he wasn't that accurate. Once people figured him out, once people could keep him in the hole, he wasn't that accurate as a passer. He was no longer a good quarterback because teams figured him out pretty easily. All right. And so that's why he got cut. It had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with race. But beyond having nothing to do with race, I want you to realize this guy is nowhere close to a victim. Understand this. We didn't play this part of the video, but it is there. You can go see it for yourself. This guy now has a nonprofit organization that empowers blacks and minorities. Now, when he says empowers, I think he creates victims. So I think he does the exact opposite. He has a publishing company. He has a documentary that's on Netflix. He has an upcoming documentary this year that's going to be produced with Spike Lee. He also has endorsements from Ben & Jerry's ice cream, from Nike. There's another company that I'm missing because my computer is set tripping on me. But the guy is making money hands over fist in all types of ways. I'm trying to find the third company. All right. Since then, he's partnered with Netflix for a docudrama series based on his life. Okay. So it was Netflix. I already mentioned Netflix, Ben & Jerry's, and also Nike. So a Netflix, Ben & Jerry's, Nike. He has a nonprofit organization. He has a publishing company, and he's got another upcoming documentary with Spike Lee. This guy wants us to believe that he's a victim. Let me talk to you about what this is really about. Let me give you the reasons that I believe Colin Kaepernick is the Meghan Markle of the sports world. All right, before I start here, let me just real quick go to my sponsors. Do not forget my sponsors. They're going to bless you. They're going to bless this podcast. MyPillow.com. Don't forget Mike Lindell, MyPillow. He's built an amazing company, American products, all right, American jobs, American manufacturing. Go to MyPillow.com right now. Click on the radio listener square at the top of the page, or if you prefer, you can give them a call at 800-858-0263, 800-858-0263. Right now, they're running a special exclusively for my listeners. You can get the new My Pillow 2.0. Buy one, get one free is what's happening. So Mike invented My Pillow. It had everything you ever wanted in a pillow. But now 20 years later, he discovered this new technology that makes it even better. The My Pillow 2.0 has the patented adjusted feel of the original My Pillow, but now with a brand new fabric that is made with a temperature regulating thread. The My Pillow 2.0 is softer, smoother, and cooler than the previous My Pillow, if you can believe that. I sleep with it now. You're going to absolutely love it. I promise. Go to mypillow.com. All right. And capitalize on any of the products they have on My Pillow. All right. You use my name, Carl, C-A-R-L. You'll get deals up to 70% off in some cases. MyPillow.com, or give them a call, 800-858-0263. And don't forget our other sponsor for today, 4patriots.com, the number 4patriots.com. Guys, whether it's a Biden disaster, listen, the stock market is plunging. It's insane what we're going through right now. And you already have the Biden administration, which Democrats coming out with a budget proposal for $6.8 trillion, something like that for next year. It's going to be shot down. It's dead on arrival. Kevin McCarthy has already said. The problem is the Democrats just want to spend money. Times may be getting tougher. Actually, I believe they are going to get tougher. Just be prepared, just in case, God forbid, we have a natural disaster or a Biden disaster. You want to make sure that you and your family are prepared, all right? Make sure that you have a stockpile of food. 4patriots.com, their kits are superfood. They last for 25 years in case of an emergency, or in case you need to share food with neighbors or family or what have you. Make sure you go to 4patriots.com. Their kits are sturdy, they're compact, they're water resistant, they stack easily. The meals are ready in just 20 minutes. All you do is add boiling water, simmer, and serve. They're ready to go. And you have this knowledge of knowing that a portion of every sale goes to help out charities that help veterans and their families. So go to 4patriots.com, stock up on your survival kit. First time purchasers, if you use my name, you get 10% off All right. And then if you have a purchase of $97 or more, you get a 1 year long guarantee plus free shipping. Go to forpatriots.com. Use my name. Okay. Now, 6 reasons Colin Kaepernick is the Meghan Markle of the sports world. Let's start with this. This guy, let me just say this, because he called out his parents publicly. All right. His white parents publicly, his adoptive parents publicly. First off, I would say this. This guy is a complete and utter ingrate, and he's a narcissist. They don't have the platform that he does. In my opinion, this is bullying. This is a guy that's very, he's a complete ingrate. This is a guy that has reached the highest levels of success you could imagine in the United States of America. All right. Because of his parents. Because of his parents. He's an adoptive kid. He should be thanking them. All right. He should be kissing their behinds. He should be hugging them, smothering them with kisses. Instead, he's exploiting them. He's destroying their reputations in order for him to look good or feel good about himself and to make money. This is disgusting. This is a narcissist. All right. This guy really, at some times, man, at some point in time, I sat and I felt sorry for him in the past, because I was like, why is he doing all this stuff? What's really going on? This guy, he's lost. He's this, that. He's a narcissist and he's an ingrate, and someone needs to say it. So there, I'm saying it. This guy is a complete narcissist and an ingrate. Again, he was adopted. I was just reading through some of the experiences that foster kids have and some of the things that they deal with, because he said that he's in growing up was problematic for him. Really? You know what's problematic is growing up in a foster home where you don't have a sense of identity. You don't have a sense of purpose. You don't have a family. You grow up, oftentimes, a lot of these kids grow up as bullies. They end up in jail. They end up with mental disorders, depression, anxiety, so on, etc. They have severe detachment disorders. They have severe social disorders because they had no one that loved on them. He had the blessing of some family coming in and loving on him. It almost makes him even more special. It also, it proves that his parents are even more loving because they chose him. They didn't have to choose him. They chose him. What an ingrate. What a narcissist. They saved him from a life of chaos. And this fool wants to talk about they perpetuated racism. Give me a freaking break. Give me a freaking break. You have to ask yourself, why are there so many black successful people like Colin Kaepernick that are so hell-bent on acting like they're victims? This is another point. This guy just wants to be a victim. Why is it that there's virtue in victimhood when it comes to black successful, and let's be frank, he's biracial. I'll get to that in a second. So is Meghan Markle, ironically. I'll get to that in a second. Because I think I know why they're doing what they're doing to the degree in which they're doing it. And part of it has to do with the fact that they're both biracial. But speaking of him, why are so many black successful liberals so desperate to be victims? It makes no sense to me. Is it because they feel so guilty because they made it in this country that perhaps people around them or teachers or whomever told them is this systemically racist country, it's hell-bent against you, and then you make it out of the hood, or I don't even know that he was ever in the hood, but you make it out of the hood, or you make it, you hear the stories, you turn on the news, listen to the radio, and all these black people that are claiming to be victims, and you're like, oh my God, I must be privileged, I must be special. How did I make it out? Maybe it was just your hard work, Colin Kaepernick. This guy was a very good baseball player, but he decided not to go the baseball route. He decided to go the NFL route. He claims because he wanted to be more around more black people. This is a kid that wasn't comfortable in his own skin, but this is a kid that had a privileged life because someone chose, a family, his parents, his white parents chose to adopt him and love on him. And instead, this guy wants to be a victim. I'll tell you what part of the problem is. I think they feel guilty because they have no relationship with their creator. with our creator God. So they're trying to impress the black community instead of just trying to impress God. They're not comfortable in their own skin because instead of looking up, all right, God, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I in this situation? Instead of looking up, they're looking to the side. They're looking to the side. I got to impress this crowd. I got to impress this crowd. Oh my God, I got to fill in. This is a grown ass man. And he still feels like he's got to fit in. Same problem with what's her name? With Meghan Markle. That's the same problem with Meghan Markle. All right. So this guy is an ingrate. This guy he thinks that there's virtue in victimhood. He has a problem with being a biracial successful man. And I'm intentionally saying biracial. I want to address this issue when it comes to the cornrows, because this is one of the dumbest freaking things I've ever heard. And honest black people, you know this is true. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And it's really insulting. It's really insulting. So I'm going to tell you why it's both the dumbest thing I've heard when it comes to cornrows, and I'm going to tell you why it's insulting. Just a reminder, please, before I do that, please subscribe to our podcast wherever you go to find podcasts, Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube, and Rumble. You can find us there. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Carl Jackson Show on YouTube. That is The Carl Jackson Show on YouTube. We're also on Rumble if you prefer Rumble. So check us out there. All right, so the dumbest thing I've ever heard when it comes to cornrows, this makes no sense to me. And I'll tell you, any honest black person will tell you, this is very disingenuous when he talks about the cornrows. And it's insulting. Dumb and insulting. Why is it dumb? Actually, let's get to why it's insulting. So you're telling me, Colin Kaepernick, that what defines your blackness is your hair? What defines your blackness is your hair? How insulting is that? I'm telling you, this is a guy that has obviously lived in a bubble or lived outside of a bubble. And he's like, I feel detached from the black community. What do I need to do to be black? Oh, I need to put my hair in cornrows. You understand how insulting that? Honestly, if a white person had said that or done that, wouldn't that be cultural appropriation? Wouldn't that be racism according to the left? That was his idea of being black. I'm going to make my hair look different. Bro, you're born black. You're born black. And nobody gives a freak. I didn't say that for it. No one gives a freak, all right? This should be insulting. And now, let me give you some reasons why this is really dumb. And you know it, black people, be honest. Every black person with a loving parent, every black person with a loving parents, or even a loving parent, at some point in time, told their son, I'm speaking specifically women, black women, you heard this too, but I'm speaking specifically to black men right now. Every black male was told by his dad or his mom, boy, pull up your pants, or if you look a certain way, if you wear your hair a certain way, you look like a thug, a hoodlum, a gangster. You know why they did it? That's not racism, Colin. That ain't racism. That's love. My parents told me that. They happen to be black. My uncle told me that. When I was younger, I was getting these bowl cuts. My dad despised it. I don't know why. He despised those cuts. Son, you look like this, you look like that. I don't want you to have those cuts. Later on, I didn't get cornrows. I got plaits, believe it or not. I know I'm bald now, but at one point in time, I had twists in my hair. And then later on, I had plaits, like the group back in the day, crisscross I had the plaits. And I had an uncle tell me, man, I look like a thug, blah, 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 blah. I know why he was doing it. He was loving on me. My dad was loving on me. At the time, when I was a kid, I didn't understand it. But as a grown man, I understand it. You know why? Because for one, they're concerned that you're not going to succeed in life the way that you want to. They're concerned that you're probably hanging around the wrong people that are going to take you a certain way. You're not going to be taken seriously in the world. They want to make sure you don't end up dead. That's love. That ain't racism. That is love, Colin Kaepernick. So your parents, your white parents, love you enough to say what all black parents said to their sons. Son, if you wear your hair like that, you're going to look like a hoodlum. If you dress a certain way, if you look a certain way, you wore your hair a certain way, you act a certain way, you're going to be perceived as a gangster, a thug, or a hoodlum. That ain't nothing new to you. That ain't racism. And I can guarantee you, white people, Latino people, every freaking ethnic group around the world heard a similar thing from their parents. If you want to understand how much America is not racist, you should listen to Colin Kaepernick. This guy is a complete and utter fraud and opportunist. He's a complete and utter fraud and opportunist. I don't understand how people buy into this stuff, except that they suffer from the same stuff. Man, that ain't racism, bro. That's love. And it's insulting that you would say cornrows is something that associated with you being black. And then his wife, girlfriend, whomever it was, I wanted to come alongside the young Kaepernick and give me a break. Give me a break, chick. And you saw the female that was interviewing him. They said that. They said that. That's what's happening to this society. Emasculating men. Yeah, you're damn right they said that. They're his parents. They should say that. What did your parents say to you when you were stepping out of line? When they did something, that ain't racism. If it was racism, they would have never adopted them. This stuff is insane. I honestly, that's why I don't take these people seriously. You cannot take these people seriously. When people say America is systemically racist, okay, move. You will never see a black person packing their bags to move out of America to go to Africa. You ain't gonna see it. You're not going to see it. Not in modern America. It's not going to happen. These people are complete and utter fakes and frauds. Now, again, he talked about being problematic. His how problematic his adoptive parents were. I just go back to my point. He could have been a foster kid. You know how problematic that would have been? He could have been put in home to home to home. You think his attachment disorder is bad now? He could have been raped, molested, any of these things. Those parents protected him by adopting him. What an ingrate. What an ingrate. Unbelievable. Now, let's get to this point. Nobody wants to talk about this. No one wants to talk about this. But I'm going to do it. You're biracial, man. You're freaking biracial. Gabe, am I crazy? You're biracial. Do you know what that means? It means your biological parents got past racism and you haven't. What a fake. What a fraud. Bro, you are biracial. You are white and you are black. There is no shame in that. That is proof positive that at least your biological parents at one point says, we don't care about race. We care about each other. But you can't get past it. And I think it's just because you're making too much money from it. Keeping up the game. Change the game. Yeah, change the game, all right. You're keeping up the game. You're fake, man. You're phony. You're fraud. You know it. And what you're doing is absolutely disgusting. You're not empowering black people. You're victimizing black people. And you should be ashamed of yourself. I know you won't because you're making too much money. And there's too many people invested in victimhood. It's too profitable to be a victim nowadays. This guy should be kissing his parents behind, calling them racist on public TV. Just unimaginable to me. You know, you have this guy, he's just not comfortable in his own skin. Do you understand the power you would have if you said, dude, this is the way God created me. I'm white, I'm black, I can unite. Barack Obama, same thing. Barack Obama, Meghan Markle, Colin Kaepernick. What is it about these biracial people that they have to play the victim just no matter how high they ascend as far as success is concerned? What is it about them? They're not comfortable in their own skin. They're not listening to God. They're listening to everybody else on the periphery. That's what's happening. And let me say this. Let me close it out with this. before I do, guys, please don't forget to support my sponsors, MyPillow.com. Take advantage of that deal. Get a buy one, get one free MyPillow 2.0. All you have to do is go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener square at the top of the page, enter my name, CARL. I promise you, you're going to have a better night's sleep with those pillows. Also, just peruse the website. Their products up to 70% off. All you have to do is enter my name. Also, don't forget, forpatriots.com. A portion of every sale goes to help out charities that help veterans and their families. So you can help out veterans, and you make sure that your family and perhaps your neighbors, if you share your food, are secure in case of a natural disaster or a Democrat disaster. So forpatriots.com is another place. Use my name, Carl. Okay, now, this guy who kneeled, who claimed that blacks were, or cops were pigs, all this kind of stuff, got all this attention. Now he's rich beyond belief. He's done far better outside of football. Don't believe him when he says this interview. He was talking about how he still wants to be in the NFL. You know, he contacts 32 teams every year. 2019, they gave him an opportunity, the NFL did, to try out. And the guy made a spectacle of it. He didn't go try out in front of them, I guess because they were the white oppressors. He wanted to hold his own tryout. Like he's calling the shots. The fool ain't even in the NFL, but he wants to call the shots. Give me a freaking break. This guy is a fake. He's a fraud. He's a huckster. He's a huckster. He's a huckster. He's making money off of keeping people divided, mad, and angry. And he's patting himself on the back for it. So now it's getting a little twisted here. But I also want to know how many young black men are dead because of Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, you heard me right. How many young black people have died because of Colin Kaepernick's stand? Carl, what do you mean? He's standing up for black people. He's empowering young black men. No, the hell he's not. Do you understand that when blacks don't show up in black and minority neighborhoods, more black people get killed? You can play videotapes of whites or white cops beating a black dude or whatever all day long. Those videos pop up because they're so freaking rare. You know what's not rare is when you live in LA, when you live in Chicago, when you live in Camden, New Jersey, and your black behind gets beat, shot, or killed by another black person. That happens every freaking day, and we don't hear anything about it. And because there's less policing, because there are fewer cops around, now more black people are getting killed. With the whole George Floyd riots, the whole defund the police movement, crime, homicides, robberies have skyrocketed in urban neighborhoods. Thank you, Colin Kaepernick. That's your real legacy. That is your real legacy, homeboy. So please, please, please. This guy is nothing more than the Meghan Markle of the sports world. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in to this edition of the Carl Jackson Show podcast. Please be sure to subscribe wherever you go to get your podcast. And please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Carl Jackson Show on YouTube. You can also find us on Rumble as well. And until next time, do not grow weary doing good. God bless you.